A ball is thrown vertically upwards. It goes to a height of 20 meters and then returns to the ground, taking acceleration due to gravity to be 10 meters per second square. Find the initial velocity of the ball, the final velocity of the ball on reaching the ground, and the total time of journey of the ball. We need to find the initial velocity, final velocity of the ball on reaching the ground, and the total time of journey of the ball. So here is a ball. It was thrown vertically upwards. It reached a height of 20 meters and then it returned to the ground. We need to find the initial velocity with which it was thrown upwards. We need to find the final velocity just before it reaches the ground, and we also need to find the total time of journey, the total time of going up, reaching the highest point, and then coming back to the ground. Maximum height to which the ball reaches is 20 meters. Acceleration due to gravity is 10 meters per second square in this problem. Final velocity at the maximum height. Okay, when the ball is at 20 meters height, its velocity would be 0. Now let's find the initial velocity. We will be using this equation: v square equal to u square minus 2gh. V is the velocity at the highest point, it is 0, equal to u square minus 2 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 20. 2 multiplied by 10 is 20, 20 multiplied by 20 is 400. So u square is equal to 400. Therefore u is equal to square root of 400, and I will get the initial velocity u equal to 20 meters per second. The final velocity on reaching the ground will be same as the initial velocity. So I can write v final is equal to 20 meters per second, but it would be in the downward direction. Now let's find the total time of journey. Now total time of journey of the ball will be twice the time taken to reach the highest point. Okay, so time to go up plus time to go down. So let's find the time to reach the maximum height. Time to reach maximum height. V equal to u minus gt. As the ball travels upwards and reaches the highest point, its velocity would be 0. We have already calculated u. It is 20 meters per second. So let us substitute the values. V is 0, u is 20 meters per second minus g, which is 10 meters per second square, multiplied by the time. So 10t would be equal to 20. Therefore, t will be equal to 2 seconds. The total time of journey is twice this time, up and down. So total time would be equal to 2 multiplied by 2. So it would be 4 seconds. Initial velocity is 20 meters per second. Final velocity on reaching the ground is 20 meters per second, but in the downward direction, and the total time of journey is 4 seconds. A body is dropped from the top of a tower. It acquires a velocity of 20 meters per second on reaching the ground. Calculate the height of the tower. Take g, acceleration due to gravity, equal to 10 meters per second square. Let's say this is the tower. An object is thrown from top of the tower and it reaches the ground. Just before it touches the ground, it would have acquired some velocity. That velocity is 20 meters per second. We need to calculate the height of the tower. Let's proceed. Final velocity is given. Final velocity V is 20 meters per second. Acceleration due to gravity is 10 meters per second square. Initial velocity was 0. We are interested in finding the height of the tower. Let's use this equation. V square equal to U square plus 2GH. V is 20, so 20 square equal to 0 square plus 2 multiplied by 10 meters per second square multiplied by h. 400 equal to 20h. H would be 400 divided by 20. Therefore, H would be equal to 20 meters. This is the height of the tower. A ball is thrown vertically upwards. It returns 6 seconds later. Calculate the greatest height reached by the ball and the initial velocity of the ball. A ball was thrown vertically upwards. It reached a certain height and then it returned to the ground. It would have been thrown with some initial velocity. The total time is given. Total time, let's say t. It is 6 seconds. Acceleration due to gravity 10 meters per second square. Time to reach the highest point. Let's say it is t1. Time to reach the highest point. T1. It would be half of the total time. That means T1 will be equal to 3 seconds. Now, Let's find the initial velocity first. We will be using this equation v equal to u minus g t1. At the highest point, the velocity would be 0. The ball will start its return journey towards the ground after reaching the highest point. So v is 0. So 0 equal to u minus 10 multiplied by t1, 3 seconds. So u will be equal to 30 meters per second. This is the initial velocity. Now we have the value of u. We know the value of v. It is 0 at the highest point. Now let's calculate the maximum height to which the ball reaches. For that, we will be using this equation v square equal to u square minus 2gh. V square equal to u square minus 2gh. Ball was thrown vertically upwards. It reached a certain height. At this point, the velocity was 0. Okay. We have already found the initial velocity. U is 30 meters per second. We need to find h. 0 equal to 30 square minus 2 multiplied by 10 meters per second square multiplied by h. So this would be 20h equal to 900. H will be equal to 900 divided by 20. Therefore, h would be 45 meters. The maximum height to which the ball reaches is 45 meters, and the initial velocity with which it was thrown vertically upwards is 30 meters per second. A pebble is thrown vertically upwards with a speed of 20 meters per second. How high will it be after 2 seconds? So pebble was thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 20 meters per second. So after 2 seconds, what will be the height to which the pebble reaches? So after 2 seconds, how high will it be? That's what we need to find. Initial velocity is given. It is 20 meters per second. G is 10 meters per second square. Time t is 2 seconds. We want to find the height after 2 seconds. Now let's use this equation h equal to ut minus half gt square. We know the initial velocity. The time also has been provided to us. Value of g is known to us. In this problem, we'll be taking it as 10 meters per second square. Again, t, it is 2 seconds. So now let's substitute these values into this equation. and find the height of the pebble after 2 seconds. Okay, so how high will it reach after 2 seconds? Twenty multiplied by 2 seconds minus half multiplied by 10 meters per second square multiplied by t square, that would be 4. 40 minus 20. So h would be equal to 20 meters. The height to which the pebble reaches is 20 meters. It will reach this height after 2 seconds. How long will a stone take to fall to the ground from the top of a building 80 meters high? And what will be the velocity of the stone on reaching the ground? Take acceleration due to gravity g equal to 10 meters per second square. Here is a building. A stone was thrown from the top of this building. The height of this building is 80 meters. So a stone was thrown. Just before it reaches the ground, it would have acquired a lot of velocity. We need to find that velocity. Height of the building is 80 meters. Acceleration due to gravity g is 10 meters per second square. Now let's find the time to reach the ground. Yes, we also need to find the time taken by the stone to reach the ground. So let's use this equation. H equal to half gt square. First, we are interested in finding the time. Once we obtain the time, we will calculate the velocity of the stone. Let's substitute the values. H is 80 meters equal to half multiplied by 10 meters per second square multiplied by t square. So t square would be 80 divided by 5 . So t square would be equal to 16. T would be root of 16. Therefore, I can write T would be 4 seconds. Now we need to find the velocity of this stone. To find the velocity of this stone, we'll be using this equation v equal to gt. V equal to gt. We have already calculated the time. Acceleration due to gravity is given in the problem. We will take it as 10 meters per second square. Let's substitute these values and find the velocity of the stone. So V is equal to 10 meters per second square multiplied by 4 seconds. So it would be 40 meters per second. So velocity is 40 meters per second. A body falls from top of a building and reaches the ground 2.5 seconds later. How high is the building? Take acceleration due to gravity g equal to 9.8 meters per second square. Here is a building from which an object falls. It reaches the ground in 2.5 seconds. We need to find the height of this building. We will be taking g as 9.8 meters per second square. Time is 2.5 seconds. Now let's use this equation to obtain the height of the building. H equal to half gt square. Therefore, h would be equal to half multiplied by 9.8 meters per second square multiplied by 2.5 square. H would be half multiplied by 9.8 multiplied by 6.25. So if you multiply this, you will get h equal to 30.6 meters. Height of the building is 30.6 meters. It took 2.5 seconds for the object to reach the ground. H is 30.6 meters. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 49 meters per second. Calculate the maximum height attained and the time taken before it reaches the ground. So a ball was thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 49 meters per second. Calculate the maximum height to which the ball reaches and the time taken before it reaches the ground. Okay, so ball will eventually reach the ground. So we need to find the total time taken by the ball. Sorry. The initial velocity is given to us. Initial velocity is 49 meters per second. So U is 49 meters per second. Let's take G equal to 9.8 meters per second square. At the maximum height, the velocity would be 0. We will be using this equation v square equal to u square minus 2gh. Let's substitute the values and find the maximum height attained by the ball. So v is 0 here. So 0 square equal to 49 square minus 2 multiplied by 9.8 meters per second square multiplied by h. So 2 multiplied by 9.8 multiplied by h is equal to 49 square. 9.8 multiplied by 2 would be 19.6 multiplied by h. This will be equal to square of 49. If you do the calculation, you will get the value 2401. H is equal to 2401 divided by 19.6. So h would be 122.5 meters. Now let's find the total time. But for that we need to calculate the time taken to reach the maximum height. Time to reach maximum height. For that we'll use this equation V equal to U minus GT. At the highest point V is 0. So 0 equal to U, it is already given in the statement of the problem. U is 49 meters per second minus 9.8 T. So 9.8 T is equal to 49. Therefore T would be 49 by 98 multiplied by 10. So this would give you 5 seconds. This is the time to reach the maximum height. Okay, this is the time to reach the maximum height, but it is not our final answer. This value is important, but this is not our final answer. The total time to go up is 5 seconds, and the time to come down would be 5 seconds. So total time would be total time would be 10 seconds. Let me just write it here. Total time to go up plus time to go down. 5 multiplied by 2 or 5 plus 5, that is 10 seconds. So this is the final answer.